Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Cool Down. And we have Wonga Dinga, the Dinganator, the guy who's gone MIA on Discord. We haven't seen him on Discord since I don't know when. And then we've got Claudio, who's obviously very loud this evening with his background. First and foremost, Claudia, well done on the FA Cup triumph. How are you feeling after the win?
Very good. It was, I'm not going to lie to you, it was the one where I was the most nervous I think I've been all season, because if you don't get this one across the line, you know, all the talk about the quadruple, etc., etc., etc. If you don't get this one across the line, all of that doesn't really happen. So it was the one that we needed to make sure we landed. And I must tell you, I didn't sit throughout the course of the game, and they landed it. And now we're excited. Now we can keep talking about the idea of a possible quadruple.
But what? And then Wonga, how are you doing this evening, man? Where have you been, man? We haven't seen you on Discord. Are you alive? Are you okay? What's happening, Wonga? Talk to us.
Nah, I'm not okay, bro. Not okay at all.
You're not
Seems
okay.
disappointing. Yeah, not okay at all, man. It's bad.
No
Bad
worries,
week.
Wonga, no worries. We'll go into more detail in terms of why you're not okay. But everyone, good evening. As I said, just drop your comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe, tell your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your best friend, your ex-girlfriend to subscribe to our Goalloungetv TV channel. And yeah, already Louis is in the comment section. I spoke to Louis at work this morning, and yeah, he had a bit of a laugh about something that we're gonna touch on right now. And I think before we jump into the Premier League, let me just give Claudio his 2 minutes in the sun in terms of
2 minutes.
Liverpool win in the FA Cup. Let's be honest, it was probably one of the most boring finals we've ever watched. I only watched the penalty shootout. I was in Tembisa visiting my cousin, and we were at Shisanyama, and then I took some time and I went to the screen and I watched the whole penalty shootout. But the game in itself, it seemed like it was a boring game. Claudio, tell us about the game in itself and obviously the emotions of Tsimikas scoring that final penalty.
I think, look, first let's open up with you saying it's a boring game. I think if you watched the game, you would have said it wasn't a dull, normal draw. Both sides had their chances. It was very nervy if you were supporting either side. I can tell you that much. Look, the game had both moments. I mean, Liverpool were all over them in the first half. As the game drew on, I think Chelsea came out second half flying out the blocks, which you would expect after the performance they had in the first half. And I think as the game drew on, Liverpool's legs did get a bit tight, and it was almost as if Liverpool played for penalties, which is a bizarre thing to consider. But they did, and the changes that they made was exactly to that point. They played for the penalties, and it worked out when you consider that they've beaten Chelsea in 3 finals on penalties. You got to say, this is where we are getting worried as Liverpool fans, because there's only so many penalties you can win. That's what you think, right? And when you're looking at the sort of decisions that were made with regards to, and I'm sure everyone's seen this on social media, with regards to the comparison between Jurgen Klopp and Tuchel and how they manage the penalties. Generally speaking, when you look in penalties, you want to win the toss because, hey, look at that, Wonga Shaka. Look at that.
Wonga Shaka. Wonga Shaka.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so what you want to do is you want to win the toss because you get to then decide to go first, and then you get to decide which side you want to take. Now, or which end you want to take, rather, in front of your own fans or opposition's end. Yeah. So in this case, you've got to look at Liverpool lost out in both instances. In the previous time, they won, and you could say that was in their favor. But what was interesting was how Jurgen Klopp had managed the situation. Going into it, there were 5 minutes between the two sides. Jurgen Klopp had his sort of squad selected already. He knew he was going to take the penalties. He had one-on-ones with them before delivering the sort of passionate speech that he normally does. And then once the speech was delivered, they were there waiting. And they put Chelsea under pressure, and they were smiling and they were laughing. And then Tuchel was still deciding who he was going to put down, looking the players in the eyes in a group. And you could tell that made a difference. But what was quite interesting that came out afterwards was one thing we always commend Klopp. And Klopp, they always talk about Klopp being such a great manager and this and this and this. But one of his best parts is him being open to learn new things and bring in experts in their field. And prior to this, they had actually hired these guys, and I think, Wonga, you'd appreciate this. You should go look them up. This team called Neuro 11, a pair of neuroscientists who actually had helped and coached them through these penalty shootouts, which is quite interesting. And they break down exactly the different strengths and the benefits as to how they went into it. And when you're looking at the certain advantages there's a great article on The Athletic, how they break down the sort of advantage that Liverpool had carved open from sort of the sort of smallest detail. Alisson interfering, coming to meet the players rather than being intimidated by Mendy, putting him off the line. Then like little things where Thiago's focusing on the ball rather than looking at the goalkeeper. And Tsimikas, by the way, gentlemen, it was one of those where, I mean, I think you still said so, Settle. You said that Mane was going to miss their final penalty, miss the penalty taken against Mendy. When you're looking throughout the course of the year, he had taken 2 previous occasions the last penalty. His teammates of Mendy, that was always going to be a high pressure situation for him.
Yeah.
But it was when Tsimikas stepped up, I started celebrating before the final ball was kicked, or before the ball was even kicked, because you just knew that it was the first professional penalty he's ever taken in his career. So it was just one of those situations where, you know me, love being a romantic and love sort of painting that picture out there. That was the situation where it was exactly that. So yeah, it was a good time. Good time to get Liverpool down.
I see Jason saying, don't know about being bored, just so it's another trophy in the cabinet. Obviously, of course, when you were the winner, you're obviously going to say that. But obviously, for the neutral, I wasn't obviously glued to the TV screen when it happened. But yeah, Jason saying congrats about being on the show tonight, Wonga. I'm sure it ain't easy. It isn't easy. Yeah, Wonga, it's not easy at all for you to be on the show. Arjun, hey man, where have you been, Arjun? Stop it. Where have you been?
You've
Told you
been
guys
MIA.
he had every year from Arsenal fans and always. He came back to slander Arsenal. Yeah, but Claudio, so because you guys have 2 out of 4 so far, is it going to end on 2? Is it going to be 3? Or is it going to be 4? I know if we're being realistic as football fans, I think the realistic prediction should be it will be 3 out of 4. That's just on a realistic note. But do you think it can actually be 4 out of 4?
Well, remember, Silo, I kind of led with the fact that I said 4 was slightly a stretch too far. And I always said, 3 was probably going to be what they land up with. I did say that. But nonetheless, I'm not going to rule out 4 because I want the universe to hear 4. I mean, when you're looking at the injuries, Van Dijk's picked up now, Fabinho's picked up, and Salah's picked up. They're probably not going to play tonight against Southampton. So this is where the sort of impossible sort of conversation comes in, because it is a tough ask. But thanks to West Ham, the dream is still alive. The hope is still there. And I think with Steven Gerrard taking on Man City, if it was anyone else, I think I would have said game done. But I think with Gerrard and Aston Villa and Ings and Watkins there, I think there's a possibility that anything can happen on that final day. So I'm still going to say quadruple right now.
Okay. Jason says, he says 3 out of 4 will do. So I think obviously Jason's not a greedy person. He takes the 3 out of 4. If I'm giving you 3 out of 4 today, you know that you're gonna take it, Claudio. Instead of taking it, instead of leaving it to chance, where it could end up being 2 out of 4, right? You take 3 out of 4 now.
100%.
Instead of leaving it to chance.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Because at least you know that you'll be happy about something come Sunday or come next week Saturday, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, tonight's going to be a good test as well. They will rotate a couple of players. Let's see what happens. And if they can come through tonight, then the conversation's still alive. But one thing I did also say prior to this is one thing I've always wanted is a tight finish. That's what I want. I mean, ideally, it would be great if you had 3 sides, just because that's what I like seeing. And I know for me, the fact that Liverpool's just involved in this is what always makes it more exciting. I mean, for years, I mean, you all know, not recently, Silo, you'll know, Wong will know this for a long while. It's not as fun when your team's not involved towards the end of the season. And the fact that they're still challenging is incredible.
No, definitely. It adds so much more to the league. You're watching till the final day. I've had heartbreak on the final day where Aguero scored a goal, where QPR did some match fixing
that was heavy.
But that's neither here nor there. But Claudia, are you happy? You're 2 minutes to the sun. I gave you enough time. I don't know if you want to say anything more about the final.
I know you're gonna. I don't know. Are you gonna
anything more about the final?
About the final? No, you can't say. I think everyone just showed up. I think Liverpool's 12th man is always there, and I think that's the advantage Liverpool have going into any final. Doesn't matter who they're playing against. That crowd is always the difference maker. It always feels like you're playing a home game when you've got them, and that's phenomenal. But I don't know. Are you going to touch on the West Ham and City game later, or are you going to do that right now?
No. We go into the big news of the weekend. The big news of the Premier League weekend. And the big news of the Premier League weekend is...
Okay. Wiping my hands clean of that.
That is the big news of the Premier League weekend, I feel. Because we have a certain gentleman on this show who was talking about top 3 Now he's out of top 4. He should be talking about top 5. Wonga, what happened, man? Please tell us what's going on. We spoke to you last week Tuesday, going to the North London derby, where you were still in 4th position, and then you played Tottenham and lost comprehensively 3-0, and then you still had an opportunity to still be number 4 by beating Newcastle. What did you guys do? You lost to Newcastle, and now you guys are 2 points behind Spurs. And if Spurs get a draw on the final day, they qualify for the Champions League by virtue of their far greater goal difference. They've got plus 24. You guys have plus 11. You guys won't score 13 goals on the final day. Wonga, what's going on, man? What has gone wrong?
Look, Shaka after the match for Arsenal went haywire. People are saying, they appreciate what he was saying. They said, yeah, he's a true leader. Basically, he said, he told the players that he basically said if they're not ready for, the people knew the gravity of the match. The players knew the gravity of the match, and they should have stepped up to the occasion. If they had no balls to it, if they were scared, if they were nervous, they should have stepped out. But for me, it didn't start in that game. It started in the game against Tottenham. Could even argue that it should have been like that from the beginning of the season. But against Tottenham, we knew how vital that was. All needed against Tottenham to make everything else comfortable as a draw. To be honest with you, didn't even need to beat them. 100%. And Rob Holding, for me, poor decisions he made. He, after fouling Son, I think he fouled him twice or 3 times before they gave him the first yellow card. Ref spoke to this guy, talked to him, and said, "Hey, my man, you can't be doing this whole game. I'm gonna definitely card you on the next one." What did he do? He goes and kicks him again,
and then he pulled him.
And it was unnecessary. That time it was even unnecessary again. All the times, in fact, were unnecessary. The last one was the worst thing. I couldn't even believe it. Son wasn't even on. Hits him, and it literally messes up your plan. But for me, again, why are you playing Rob Holding? Where are the other guys? I mean, Rob, for me,
White was injured, or wasn't 100% for that game.
I would have put a Cedric, or then I would have organized something else, but no. But Jumbo Tomiyasu was still there. You would have put a Cedric, and then Tomiyasu would have moved in there.
I would have, because he can play.
I would have done that. You've got Son, and Son is always on you. Son is quicker than Rob Holding. Son, the last time I remember we played against Rob Holding, it destroyed him. It's a weekend game out. Do you think it's going to be any different now? You're hoping it's going to be, but you can't be hoping. You need certainties now. We need to win this game or draw it. And for me, manager maybe at fault there, but again, Rob Holding, I think you can't really blame manager there. That's his stupidity. And that's, you can't now. The team is fighting 3-0 down. You can't do anything. We come against Newcastle. We know the gravity of this match again. I watched the first 30 minutes, and I knew in my heart, I was like, all you're doing is hoping here. We're not going to win this game. Newcastle passing, ball possession, looks like they're playing for top 4. Looks like they were playing for top 4. Then Rob Holding, not Rob Holding, the guy we swap in, White. Oh my goodness me! I thought we had a
howler.
Bruh. But still, we go 1-0 down. Again, there's no fight from there. There's still no fight. Again, Newcastle left everything on top of them. I'm like, there's nothing want to do. It was painful watching. They don't want to win this match. That's the honest truth. They didn't want to win that match. I can't. What can you do? What can you do? Watching?
Wait,
you're watching these guys.
You haven't announced it. Is this official? Is this
Sorry,
official?
man. I just had to bring it in because it was a Wonga rant, man. I could feel it. I just needed to get it because it was just there, guys. You can feel this man is angry. This guy is angry. It's all the anger from North London. All Arsenal fans is speaking through Wonga right now, and they are angry. They are angry at the fact that Arsenal have bottled a top 4 race. Because listen, guys, if you think about it, Arsenal were in pole position after they beat Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham. 3 consecutive wins against sides in the top 7. They did that. They went on a run where they beat teams in the top 7, 3 consecutive wins, and I thought it was Arsenal. But obviously, football is a funny game. Claudio, what do you think of of Wonga's capitulation in the last two games?
Look, Selo, you and I were laughing the whole time because we kind of felt this was going to be inevitable. Wonga was like adamant it wasn't going to be the case. And I think when you're looking at the fact, it's the ironic point is when you're looking at what they celebrate or what the Arsenal fans were singing is the youngest ever squad, the youngest this, and this what. And you've got to point out that this was a gamble from Arteta, 100%. He gambled. He let go some of the senior players. He's gone to go with the younger players. And, it's a double-edged sword because, you've got nothing to lose. The fans are a little bit more forgiving because you're trying to impose this sort of style and give them a platform to express themselves. But this is what happens. When it gets to the crunch time, when it gets to the pressure, this is where you need your cool, calm heads. And I was trying to compare it. I was trying to look at the fact where, you've got Arsenal in the situation that they're in. Granted, that it is what it is. But when you compare Liverpool to them right now, and you're looking at the fact we're talking about these young players, right, that are their starters. You look, Liverpool have young players too. Trent's 23 years old, and he's won every trophy there is to win, right? That's the difference in terms of the young player caliber. That's already the experience he's getting. So in a sort of game that Arsenal experienced last night, it's a different situation. You've got sort of the other young players. You've got Kelle, the goalkeeper, who's also 22. Konate is 22. So these are young players with the right blend of senior players with good culture and making the difference. Now, when you're relying on these young players to carry the team and you get your senior sort of players, Shaka, who didn't do much in the game himself, also then accusing the players. Guys, I don't know. I think that the biggest Disney villain since, I think Arteta's a Disney villain with the Lego haircut. That's what he is.
But for me, like...
Wonga, something that we touched on, I think 2 weeks ago, the fact that Arsenal gave Arteta a new contract. Give him a new contract before securing
this.
I think it's a blunder that Man United did, where they also gave Ole a contract before actually seeing how the season plays out. And I think obviously you guys have done something similar.
I think look, if I look at it, man, if they're looking at the situation, yes, Arteta's done well to get there. He's definitely going to make Europe. You're looking like the things you've said now. You're looking at the squad. You're looking at the team he had. I think he's done well to get there. But there's still a lot that needs to be done to get to where they want to get. He did again. We all know that it's because of what William said. His plan was next year that he wins the Champions League. Unless he's gonna somehow get Messi into Norwich's team next weekend, I don't know. But that was his plan, and that's obviously out the window. But he's I'll be honest, it's heartbreaking. It's flipping disappointing. But if you look at everything, I think you can. If you were to be honest and fair, you would say that you're finishing at the top 4, top 3. It would be on a incredible high to actually be there. But again, the only thing that disappoints me, in all of this, especially with Shaka's comments after the game, is where were these comments? Where were these comments when you lost to Brighton? Those were vital points, against Brighton, and you got pummeled by them. Where was all these comments then? Crystal Palace. Where was that? Even if you held Crystal Palace to a draw, we'd be in a better position now. But those comments never came out there. Now these guys, that's the thing. When you're playing a league game, every game has to be important. And if people are saying he is the leader that they're saying he wouldn't have come out and said that day. He would have probably said something way before. But before, it was all about him and how the refs are against him and how the Premier League's against him. And now we're playing this match, and now we lose this match, and now it's everyone else. Can't even point a finger to himself. That for me is that the comments he made were highly disappointing, to be honest with you. It was very, very disappointing. You should have said that stuff to the guys in the change room at halftime. Should have told them that straight up.
At halftime was still 0-0. At halftime was still 0-0, right?
But they came out in the
no. So at halftime it's still 0-0. This is where now Arteta needs to say, guys, listen. What's most important? We need to be the team that gets the first goal in this game. We get the first goal. We put pressure on Newcastle. They want to obviously end the season on a high in their last home game. We put pressure on them, and maybe there'll be opportunities for us to hit them on the counter after we get out the first goal. What
No,
happens?
I'd say for me.
Newcastle gets the first goal through some great work, and they probably should have gotten other goals. Callum Wilson had a nice shot, a nice volley from almost the halfway line that just went wide. There was a couple of chances that they created that I think that they had better
Imagine he
chances
stayed
than
fit for
Arsenal.
Newcastle, Wilson. If Wilson
Exactly.
is fit.
Yeah, what you would have scored what? Double what he has now. He's the leading goal scorer, still with 6 goals. He probably would have scored 12, 15 goals for them.
Jeez. Also,
But
can we
still, for
just
me,
point out what's wrong, Wonga? If Shaka could just convince someone else to have the same haircut as him, Arsenal would be in the better place. I mean, look at the Brazilian boys there in Newcastle, both bleaching their hair blonde. I mean, that's the chemistry you want. The Backstreet Boy look, like Man United had in the 90s. That's what Arsenal need to be doing. Come on. Who's leading that sort of cultural look?
I just wanna, Wonga, sorry. So I just want to read some of the comments. I think it's actually, you know, yeah, Pums says you're coming for Chelsea. Obviously he's making a joke there. Chelsea boys can go to Ibiza and Greece. So Arsenal to win Europa League. Louis now asking about United. Obviously, as a Man City fan, you have to ask such questions.
Yes, Louis.
Pums saying a fair top 5 finish for Arsenal. Yeah, so he says top 4 is going to be too much. But Wonga, so where to from here for Arsenal? Do you think that you still have a chance to make the top 4, or do you think let's just end the season on a high and look forward to next season?
There's no ways. If Tottenham lose to Norwich, it would be the biggest blunder in sporting history. There's no ways. There's no ways they lose to Norwich. There's no ways. There's no ways. The Norwich are daily bread. That's where you go. You collect your points. But in terms of, I remember we were saying at halftime, the Arsenal talk, should have been, go up first. But for me, it should have been different. It should have been exactly what Shaka said. That if the guys wanted to win, it was really up to them. There's nothing much Arteta could do there. You could tell him what to do. They all know what to do, but they had to fight in that game, and that was missing for me. I mean, if I can tell you 30 minutes that the game that we're just hoping, it doesn't even look like we're going to win. And I think that was literally the difference between. Newcastle looked like they wanted top 4, but they're not playing for anything now. They're literally playing for pride and whatever it is.
No. Those players are playing for new contracts. They want to be part of the revolution. Right? They want to be part of that.
Yeah, they want to be there. They want to be there next season. They want to be there next season. Your targets want to be signed on a permanent basis. But just while we're still on the top 4 race, the team that did win on the weekend was Spurs. They won 1-0 against Burnley through a Harry Kane penalty. I think they would have gotten more goals if it wasn't for Nick Pope, who had a blinder in the goals for Burnley, saving a lot of shots at goal. But guys, I think Claudio will probably love this point or this question in terms of where would Tottenham be if Conte had started the season with them?
No, they'd be pushing. No ways, man.
They'll be top 3.
They wouldn't. They currently 16 points off Liverpool. I would say maybe 6 points off. I don't know I don't think they would be challenging for the title, but I think they would be
like 6. They would be top 3.
Top 3, definitely.
Top 3, right? I think they'll probably get an extra 6 to 9 points from Conte, probably 6 to 9 points. I think Conte gave them an extra 6 or 9 points if he had started the season with them, which obviously would have been good for them. They would have been already top 3. But yeah, going into the next season, or going into the final game and next season, I think we've already spoken about the fact that Kane should stay after this. Now, Claudio, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I think Haaland going to City. I think Conte doing what he's doing with Spurs. I think that's a given. I don't see Kane leaving. I mean, firstly, who's going to be able to afford him for what Levy's going to ask for, and who's going to want to pay that in the first place? That's not going to happen. So it is a bit of a hold on and hope for Kane. But I do think what Conte has done with Spurs right now, I think them getting across the line of this top 4. He's getting, the players are buying what he's selling right now. And I think if he gets them there next season, he tells Levy, right, you give me what I want or I'm gone anyway. It's a short lifespan, but I will deliver with your player Kane on something. I'll get you a trophy.
And I'll get better. Yeah. I'll improve above the, go higher in the table type of thing.
Exactly, but not even the table. He will win something next season if you give him the money and 1 or 2 of the whatever players he wants to go get. You support him. He'll get rid of. I'm telling you now, he's already filtered out the weak-minded players. He's already moving them on. He's already knows what he wants to do next. And when he gets this 4th spot, I think watch out next season, because that's the type of manager he is. And we've seen he didn't lose to Liverpool or Man City since he's been there. I don't think he's lost to any of the sides in the top 5. So he's got that in him, and he knows where, especially the league. The league is his bread and butter. So
he lost to United. He lost to United.
Yeah, because he wasn't expecting anything there. You
Let's-
see, it's the
ah,
ones,
come
it's the
on,
smaller
let's-
teams that he struggles against.
Okay, but yeah, talking about small teams, let's go all the way to the relegation battle where Leeds scraped through a point against Brighton, getting them out of the relegation zone. The pub team is back in the relegation zone, which is Burnley. So yeah, it's a bit tight at the bottom there. Burnley's on 34 points, Leeds on 35 points, and then Everton on 36 points. Guys, what's happening down there, guys? 1 week we say Everton's gonna go down. The next week we say Leeds gonna go down, and now looks like Burnley's gonna go down. So who's going down? Pooms wants Burnley to go down. What's happening there, Wonga, at the bottom of the table?
Yeah. Hey, it's a lot happening, man, and the same thing I was saying. I mean, it's I mean, yeah, like Arsenal could learn from it. You see, in Everton, they had what 8 losses in a row, and they 8 or 7 when Lampard got there. Struggled to find a bit of form, but now when things are getting hot, they can see that. Hey, no, this is actually. Hey, we've only got like 4 games left, or 5 games left when they beat they beat Chelsea, and Man United. Did they beat Man United also? But you see, that's what you expect from it. Well, not expect, but that's what you need in these times. And there goes Everton, and they're starting to deliver. They're trying to show people that, hey, look, we're trying to survive. And mind you, I don't think anyone expected that from them. It would have been like if they went down, everyone would have been like, yeah, look, this is where they were going anyways. But they're fighting. The Leeds as well. Leeds, I also thought they're going to struggle against a Brighton, but they managed to get a goal later in the game, fighting to push up. It's going to be a difficult one. I don't know who's going to go down. Even a Burnley against Tottenham could have got they had one good chance, obviously didn't put it in, but it just is an unformed Tottenham. I don't know. I honestly don't know who's going to go down. I can't lie to you. This weekend, if the guys do, everyone's going to have to do what they need to do. But it might just stay the way it is now, and Burnley goes down.
Guys, we are praying. We're all praying for a Burnley relegation, guys.
Yeah.
We need the pub team out, guys, and I think also the quality of their players not. If you look at Everton, Leeds, and Burnley, the quality of players are in Leeds.
Burnley can pull.
But as well, if Leeds goes down, then at least some teams will probably get a bargain buy from like a Rafinha or a Phillips. You know what I mean? So obviously you want them to go down so you get them for cheap.
Also,
but
something that might interest Arsenal is that Maxwell Cornet from Burnley has got a release clause of £17 million.
And he's a good player.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's worth a punt. I mean, £17 million.
He's a very good player. He's a very good player. I think.
Yeah.
8 goals for Burnley. How does a player do that?
Do you know what they said? Cardo, that's more goals than the other players combined. The team has scored.
Exactly.
The other players combined have scored 7. He scored 8.
What?
Yeah, that's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what they say. Something like that. He scored more than the other players combined. That's what they said.
Oh, since he got there.
Yes, since he got there.
Since he got because he got
there.
Since
not now.
Not now. But yeah, man, I think it's. So let's get a prediction quickly, guys, from everyone who's in the comment section as well, from Wonga and Claudio and myself. Who is going down? And remember, Burnley and Everton have 2 matches left. Leeds have 1 match to go. Everton.
Who does Burnley play?
So just.
Sorry, you're telling us. Sorry.
Everton is playing midweek against Palace, right? And their last game of the season is against Arsenal. Then Burnley has to play Villa, and then what's the other game? Just give me a second. Burnley's other game is Newcastle. So Burnley's playing Villa and then Newcastle, and then Leeds plays Brentford. So guys, let's hear it. What is the prediction? Who's going down?
Yes.
Yo. Look, I've got to say, I would like to think Villa's going to do something against Burnley just because I want them to get confident for the game against Man City. So that's more me hoping. But when I'm looking at Burnley hosting Newcastle, I don't think Newcastle are going to want to end the season off with a loss. So at least minimum a point. But but I'd say Newcastle win, draw there, and then Leeds have playing Brentford, and I think there are goals to be scored in both sides there. So I think Leeds are going to be throwing the kitchen sink, and they might do what they did against Brighton and edge something right at the end at the depth where they just get that goal that seals the deal for them. So I'm going to say Leeds survive, Burnley go down. Everton, I think, are safe.
Wonga?
Yeah, I also think Everton have to do a job against the Crystal Palace. Where's Everton playing Crystal Palace?
They're playing Palace at Goodison Park.
Home, yeah.
I think they're playing you guys at the Emirates.
Yeah, I think I don't think they're going to get any resistance from.
Louis says Leeds to go down. Pub says Burnley. And Wonga, what are you saying?
Difficult one, man. I would say Burnley also, but Leeds, yeah.
No, I was saying you kind of want Leeds to go down based on what you're saying, Celo, Rafinha. But look, I don't think Rafinha stays there end of the season anyway. But I think you get him for cheaper if they go down.
Obviously, get cheaper. So I'm looking at if Man United go for him, right? Then you can get him for £30 million as opposed to £60 million.
No, Celo, right? You got it wrong. As long as Man United's in for any player, it's gonna be $60 million and up. That's just how.
No.
Doesn't matter. They play for Burnley. Maxwell Corners, you know what's funny? They got a release clause.
But when they get relegated, it's cheaper.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is in all those clauses, it's cheaper. But even when it says when Man United come for you, it's still triple the clause. That's how it works.
That's the thing I hate. Wonga, so who's going down? Come on, Wonga. Wonga.
I'll say Burnley, but I'll be honest with you, I really don't know because I feel like Burnley still got a fight in them. I think they'll make it very difficult for Aston Villa. And who else did you say that next? But yeah, it's just Aston Villa and Newcastle. I think they're going to make it very difficult for them. I can't lie. But yeah, they might end up going.
Cool. And then I think it's Burnley as well, guys. I just pray it's Burnley. We can't have a pub team next season, guys. We need to have upstanding teams. And already we have Bournemouth and Fulham back in the Premier League. So at least some two familiar sides. And I'm hoping that Forest also makes it back into the Premier League because it will be great to have such a historic club back in the Premier League. They're playing their second leg tonight. So, and then another part of the weekend where Claudio probably got a bit more excited. Very excited, you know.
I knew what you were. I know what you were leading with there, Silo. It's nice that you're a friend.
But maybe let me just keep it tonight. Let me keep it clean tonight. West Ham give Liverpool hope. The send-off for Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble, in their final game. They played so well. They deserved the point that they got. The game of two halves. They not dominated the first half, but they took their chances in the first half, and Zinchenko had a nightmare. Both goals coming on his side of the field. So, Claudio, what does this do for Liverpool in terms of tonight's game and going to the final game of the season?
Well, from our side, I mean, Liverpool's perspective, they had to win both games anyway, so it doesn't change much from Liverpool's perspective. But what it does do is it turns up the pressure in terms of the Man City camp and what they're thinking. And you could already see the pressure was there in the air, and it wasn't a typical Man City performance. Obviously, the injuries didn't do them any favors with Fernandinho having to pick up at the back. So that was definitely something West Ham were counting on and taking advantage of, and they did in the first half. Obviously, second half, you could argue same thing, but West Ham didn't take their chances. I mean, that game could have been 4-1 at a point, and I think Bowen missed a chance, and Antonio missed a crucial sort of chance that would have put the game far beyond them. And I think even Man City, I think their stat is the last time they were 2-0 down was in 2019, and even they 2019, and even in their Premier League record, they've only come back to win a game after being 2-0 down, I think 3 times out of 52 attempts or something ridiculous like that. So for them to still do what they did was impressive in terms of coming back 2-0. 2-2. The goals they did score, I mean, Grealish, he struck the ball well, but it was a bit fortuitous that ricochet went in. But then that'll obviously at 2-1's always a dangerous score because you land defending, you want to hang on what you have. And then one goal, then there's more pressure. And then that second one, obviously the pressure told in terms of the own goal from, what's his name? The West Ham players, so 2-2. Soufal. So, I mean, that credit to Man City. But in the end, you could see. And then, of course, the penalty, gentlemen. But Mahrez, I had no faith. You could see he was going to miss it. I knew he was going to miss it.
Guys, Fabianski is also a very good penalty saver. I think coupled with the fact that it's Mahrez and coupled with the fact that it's Fabianski, I knew which side Mahrez was going to go because what happens is, guys, when you take a pressure penalty and you don't look confident, what you're gonna do, you're gonna go on the side that's easiest, right? Which is obviously to take it back to where you come from, basically. So as a left footer is gonna go right, a right footer is gonna go left, and Mahrez that was written in the stars what Mahrez was gonna do, and I think Man City next season need to sign a penalty taker as well. I know they've signed Erling Haaland, but they also need to sign a penalty taker because historically they've missed quite a lot of penalties. They've had issues in the past where Gundogan's missed the penalty as well. De Bruyne's missed one. I think Sterling's also missed as well. Jesus has missed as well. I think, and Mahrez has missed the second time now. Mahrez is missing. But yeah, I think it gives you a lot of hope, Claudio.
But these are the things. These are the things that add up. And I mean, when you look at something like that, you go Pep's going. Jesus, game could have been done. Now it's not done, and that sinks into the rest of the team. Mahrez is thinking, shit, going into the game of the weekend, I could have killed this. We can still win the game. But now what happens is on their final day, we know kickoffs all the same time. So if Liverpool at Anfield can get on top of the side early and put one or two early, that noise starts getting spread around the sort of Etihad. And all of a sudden, Villa start coming in there.
There's no fans. There's no fans in the Etihad, Claudio.
And there's no exactly, and that's something Liverpool can draw on, whereas Man City struggle.
No energy there.
And this is also, when they won that first title, when Man United seemingly had the title, they'd never, that's the first time they'd done that. So they didn't have that pressure of going out to win. Now it's the pressure of retaining that. It's the pressure of the expectation of going, hey, we've stuffed up the Champions League. We had a hell of a season. And just like this, we could end up with nothing.
Zero. Could have zero, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they overcome that, because they haven't had that, in my opinion, up until the final. So Liverpool have nothing to lose. That's the best part about it. So we're going to watch it and enjoy it.
Now, I think we'll save the title predictions to probably a later show in the week, because Liverpool still need to get their 3 points. So if Liverpool get their 3 points, I guess we can start predicting what's to come. But yeah, there are midweek fixtures, guys. I think we're just gonna cover a couple of them just in terms of predictions, because we still have quite a few things to get through. We still have to talk about the Europa League final and CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup as well. So yeah, just in terms of predictions for midweek fixtures, we have Southampton versus Liverpool tonight. What's your prediction for tonight, Wonga?
I say Liverpool will win 2-1.
Okay. And everyone else in the comment section as well, please give us your prediction for the Southampton Liverpool game, and then the other games that to follow as well. Claudio, what's your prediction for this one?
Gents, Southampton like conceding 6 or 7, but I'm not saying Liverpool
but they also like to beat the big teams as well.
Yeah, that's true. And Hussein Hutel has said he's got a special something lined up, and he's listening to Pep Guardiola saying, hey, give Liverpool 4. So let's see what happens there. And Liverpool obviously don't have Fabinho, Van Dijk, and Salah, but I think it's going to be a 1-goal decider. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool.
Louis says he's wearing his Southampton boxes tonight, all in support of Southampton. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Sorry, Claudio. It's going to be a 1-1 draw tonight.
No, it can't, Celo. It's going to be exciting for Sunday. What's wrong with you? Why do you want it to stop here?
It's not about. It's just. I predicted Southampton to beat Arsenal the other time, and they beat Arsenal. So just something about Southampton, man.
Celo, what is the funny thing that Louis told you there?
He says he's going to wear his boxes tonight.
No, but you said you had a conversation with him earlier today that was quite funny.
Wait. Oh, Louis was talking about the fact that this weekend he couldn't sleep after the game, after Man City's game. But yeah, he says he couldn't wait for the show just to see Wonga's reaction. So everyone's on the show just to see how Wonga's feeling, guys. Because I think everyone just wants to shit on Arsenal. Excuse my French, but the next game is Aston Villa versus Burnley. It's a midweek fixture. Claudio wants Villa to have some confidence going into the Man City game. Burnley needs a win. Even a point gets Burnley out of the relegation zone because of their far superior goal difference against Leeds. So, Wonga, what's the result in this game?
I say Burnley will take it 2-0.
Claudio, what do you think?
Say 2-1 victory Villa.
2-1 victory Villa. Oh, this is a tough one. I think it's going to be.
Coutinho's just renewed his contract, or they've just signed him. You saw that, and a quarter of what he was earning, eh? Well,
yeah, quarter, yeah, 125,000 pounds now from 400,000.
That's crazy.
I think it's going to be
He was earning
draw.
400. What the heck?
Yeah, that's Barcelona, right? Barcelona just throws money at people. So I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw in this game. So yeah, let's see what happens. The next one is quite a dead rubber actually, because Chelsea have secured Champions League football, but they would like to cement that third place. Chelsea versus Leicester. Wonga.
Chelsea gonna pump them 3-0. These guys. Oh, wait. It may be 3-2. But Chelsea will. They don't know how to keep clean sheets.
Pums is saying 0-0 for the Villa and Burnley game. But you're saying 3
I
Chelsea.
see. No, 3-2. Maybe 3-2. Because Chelsea can't. Chelsea. I mean, Leicester can't keep a clean sheet. Leicester is open net.
They can't buy a clean sheet. Even on the weekend they won 4-1.
5.
Claudio, 5. Yeah, Claudio, what's your prediction for this one?
I'm gonna say a draw. I don't think Leicester are gonna lose after the 5-1. I think Chelsea are going to be a bit deflated. There's nothing left for them to play for. Like Pums already said, the boys are in Ibiza. And obviously, you got a lot of things happening there at Chelsea. Apparently, the sale might not go through that was planned. You've got players, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, Alonso. All these guys are shipping in, shipping out.
Yeah,
they're done. Yeah. They're done. So I say a draw there. 2-2 draw.
A draw. Okay. I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory to Chelsea. It is their last home game of the season, so I think it'll be a 2-1 victory, just to kind of give the fans something to cheer about. And then the last one, quite a big one. It's Everton at Goodison Park versus Crystal Palace. Wonga, what's your prediction for this one?
Yes. I say 2-1 to Everton.
2-1 to Everton. 2-1 to Everton. Claudio?
I'm disappointed Wonga's going against his future Arsenal manager there. I think Everton are getting caught up in their own hype in terms of playing every game like a final. I think that's important, but also sometimes you also got to calm things down because it isn't a final. I think that's where they're getting caught out a little bit. And I think I'm backing Lelong, Mr. Vieira. He can do something. So I'm going to say a draw for Crystal Palace 1-1.
Okay, 1-1. Scooby says 1-0. Thanks for tuning in, Scooby. He's a Real Madrid fan, so at least but he's also a Pirates fan, so I think that's why he's watching the show tonight. Claudia, wow. So he says 1-0 to Palace. Pum says 2-1 to Everton. I say it's going to be a 1-0 victory to Everton tonight, and then they'll be safe with that victory. That's the Premier League fixtures for midweek, and then after that, Sunday is the final round of games at 5 p.m. We might be doing something for that. Claudio will obviously confirm on Thursday. On Thursday's show, he'll confirm if we are doing something for that. And something that's probably slipped through the cracks, guys, that probably no one actually maybe remembers, is that tomorrow there is a Europa League final between Eintracht Frankfurt and Glasgow Rangers. So tomorrow night is the Europa League final. Yes, it's not a glamorous final. Because the teams in the final are not. I think the Conference League has bigger teams in the final, Roma versus Marseille, than what the Europa League has. They probably would have liked them to swap, but yeah, guys, we've got a Europa League final, the second tier final of Europe. Who do you think is going to win this game? I think Rangers being in the final is quite it's an amazing feat for a Scottish club to be in the final. They've just lost the Scottish League to Celtic, but they've made the Europa League final. Wonga, what do you think in terms of this matchup of Frankfurt versus Rangers? By the way, Frankfurt beat Barca on their way to the final.
Oof.
It's a heavy matchup, and I think Rangers also well deservedly made it there as well. I saw a few of their matches looking dangerous, even Frankfurt as well. I don't think it'll disappoint in terms of goals, to be honest with you. I think if Pums is saying 2-1, I think there could be even more. I think it'd be like a 3-2 or even a 3-3. I think both teams are heavy there. But to win, I'll just say uh, I'll give it to Rangers. I'll say 3-2 to Rangers.
You give it 3-2 to Rangers. Okay.
Yeah.
Claudio, what's your prediction for this one? I think obviously it's Stevie G used to be the manager or started the season as the manager, and then Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, the former Arsenal player, took over as the manager, and he's guided them to a final, which I'm sure the fans are ecstatic about. They'll probably be traveling to where the final is, wherever the final is. I'm trying to even remember where the final is. But yeah, what do you think is going to happen in this game?
I think it's huge for Rangers. Huge. When last was a Scottish side in any year? How far? Like, when last did they ever get this far? That's number one. Number two, I think, look, if I've got to look at it, I think with my head is saying Frankfurt win. I think my heart is saying Everton win. Rangers, I'm seeing all blue. Yes, son. Rangers win. But yeah, I'm going to go with Frankfurt just because of the sides they've taken out. Like West Ham, I think West Ham believed the trophy was theirs. They took them out. You've already touched on the fact they beat Barcelona. That's huge. That's huge confidence to go into the final. And I think they'll have a little bit more quality than what Rangers will have. So they'll edge that by 1 goal. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Frankfurt.
Okay, and by the way, guys, the final is in Seville at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium, which is a stadium for Sevilla. But yeah, so I think, guys, there's going to be an upset, and I think that Rangers will take this. I think that the energy of the whole of Scotland, except for obviously Celtic fans, will get them through. Will get them through over the line, and we'll have Rangers in the Champions League final. Because the winner of the Europa League final gets into the Champions League directly. So that'll be quite amazing for Rangers to be in the Champions League again.
But also 2 Scottish sides then. If Celtic have won the league, 2 Scottish sides in the Champions League.
That'll be great. That'll be great. We need some of that Scottish energy. You know what I mean? I know their behavior is not the best at stadiums, but we need that energy in the Champions League again.
It's a little off topic, but I just want to ask, if you had to have Celtic and Rangers in the Premier League, where would they finish?
Now, in the past, right? In the past, I think, let's say 15 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago, they were definitely top 6 sides. But now I think that they probably top 10 sides.
Top 10?
Number 9. Yeah, top 10. Like the teams that are in top 10, right? And the ones that are fighting for top 10 right now is your Brightons, your Palace, your Newcastles, your Brentfords. Who else is there? Who else is in the, so they'll probably be just better the better than them, type of things, which is Wolves. By Wolves, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because, like, if you had to have them in the Premier League, they have more money. So right now, if you had to put in there, I think they struggle to survive. But I think if you give them 2-3 seasons, they've got more money. They've got the crowd. They've got they've got the makeup of a Newcastle, of a Liverpool, of those sort of clubs. So you give them the money, and they do become a top side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Wonga. What do you think there?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Wonga's deflated, guys. Wonga just wants to see.
He's out.
Wonga's out, guys. Wonga's out. Wonga's out.
Wonga's
out. Yeah, Wonga rants and eyes out. He's done.
Wonga's out, guys. He's deflated. Newcastle has taken the energy all out of him after yesterday's win. But that's all good. Pum says,
it was bad. It was bad, guys. It was bad. It was bad.
Pum says
the weekend for me was bad. It was literally all it was Arsenal. And after that, all my weekend was about Arsenal. I was giving up to that. And I won't lie to you guys, it's been bad.
Sorry about that, Wonga. But yeah, just bring it back closer to home, guys. Just the CAF Champions League semi-finals did take place over the weekend. And yeah, as we predicted in terms of the first leg, which were both one-sided, Ahly will face Wydad Casablanca in the Champions League final in Morocco, which is obviously a thorny topic right now. There's some former Ahly players saying that Ahly should boycott the final. The CAF corruption is too much. The fact that Moroccan government has basically bankrolled this whole final and basically got the final to be at Wydad's home ground. How ironic is it, guys? Is that the final's not just going to be in Morocco. That's going to be at Wydad's home ground, right? Because there are other Moroccan clubs in Morocco, you know. But
Must be joking.
coincidentally, it's going to be at Casablanca. But yeah, Peter Musamadi in another CAF Champions League final, guys. Al Ahly's third final in a row, and Peter Musamadi's third final in a row. What do you guys make of the final in itself between Al Ahly and Wydad? Two North African giants going head to head against each other. And also something that we should mention as well is that both coaches are African. The coach of Wydad is Moroccan, and then the coach of Al Ahly is South African. So that's also great for African football as a whole. So what do you guys make of this matchup, and obviously the rumblings of where the final is taking place?
Yeah, look, I think for me those, like you call them the rumblings, I think that's justified. I don't even know how that can happen. I mean,
you see, you pay for the final, you get the final. That's money talks, eh?
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. I mean, this is plain sight. You can't even. You can say whatever you want to say about this or this reason or that, but this is in plain sight. You can't. I mean, I mean, it's sad also because now you've got this guy who Matsepe is running, basically the head of the CAF now, and he's a South African guy, and you can let things like this happen.
But it's a vote.
I can't.
It was, guys, apparently it was a vote. It was a vote. So the executive council of CAF voted for this.
But for me,
even
if it's a vote, I don't care how.
He has a vote. So you can't veto anything. Wonga, are you still there? But Claudio, what do you think about this? I'm sure, Claudio, you're an executive member of CAF, and then some guy from Morocco comes to your house and says, "Hey, man, listen, here's something under the table," and all of a sudden you're voting for this to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we know this is the thing that African football faces. It's on a day-to-day, and this is obviously the scary thing. Is, to your point, it's at the highest level within Africa, and that's gone under the radar. So I mean, the problem is, if that's happening at the highest level, I mean, the smaller clubs, the clubs and the people at the ground roots that have ambitions, it's virtually impossible. And this is why clubs get to buy other club statuses and. So yes. I mean, it's very unsettling when you consider the future of African football and just the future of development football within Africa. Now, it's a good thing that I mentioned that, because that's something Nick likes mentioning. Wonga, yes, you want to say something?
Sorry, before I got cut off there, but yeah, I just want to say I don't care if it was a vote or what. The fact that was allowed to happen, I don't care. It's
rubbish.
It just shows that the corruption prevails, and you can't allow that to happen under your office. I mean, if you're serious about it, you would have done things to not allow that to happen. Because I mean, geez, guys, I mean, if they got the stadium next door to them, but geez, it's at their home ground. Like, you can't get more corrupt. It's so blatant. It's a bad name for African football. I mean, well done to Al Ahly for doing for the third time. I wish they not that.
Imagine Real Madrid all of a sudden now. They paid some money, and then the Champions League final is going to be at the Bernabeu.
It would happen. They would allow it. It would be game over. Yes,
the final goes to Madrid. Done.
Or at Anfield, you know what I mean? It's
done. It's done.
The 12th man for either club is crazy, and also travel in Africa is it's expensive. You know what I mean? Flying from Egypt to Morocco, which is next door each other, you'll have to fly to Dubai first to get to Egypt. I mean, to get to Morocco. You know what I mean? How unreasonable is that? You know what I mean? So that doesn't help in terms of that. I think they need to fix it. But yeah, be as it may, Scooby says that Al Ahly to win 2-1. Motsepe needs to put his foot down. I agree. This is nonsense. They need to restructure African football in terms of, guys, beginning of the season, also with African football, I know what happens as well sometimes is that because Africa is so big and the transport system in Africa is not great, right? So, for instance, you say that a final is going to be in South Africa, right? And then you've got two North African teams playing. Then their fans is going to be expensive to come here. But what should happen, right, is that the final should not be in the country of the finalists, right?
Yes.
It can be in a neighboring country or a country that is, I guess, a certain amount of kilometers from those two countries, for instance. So they say Morocco and Egypt are here, and then say maximum amount of distance can be 1,000 kilometers, for instance, right? So that's from like Pretoria to Cape Town, basically. So you go to a neighboring country, you go to Algeria, you go to Tunisia, you go maybe to one of the West African countries to play the final.
You're also giving back. It's boosting the economy of the whoever's
Exactly, you
hosting
boost
it.
the economy. But hey, man, guys, maybe they should hire me there at CAF, guys. But if you guys are listening in CAF, I'm here to be hired. But yeah, and then why probably as I said, why Scoobies are probably on the watching the show, and why Claudio's wearing the cap that he's wearing. Claudio, show us the cap. Orlando Pirates have made it into the CAF Confederations Cup final, which will be played this Friday, which is quite a short turnaround time for the two semifinals that have now qualified to the final. That final, Pirates will be playing against RS Berkane, which is a Moroccan club as well, but they'll be playing in Nigeria. So at least that'll be on the neutral ground in a different, and obviously in a different country.
You say Nigeria?
It'll be Nigeria. It'll be Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
The final on Friday, and again, the coach of RS Berkane is from the DRC, and the coaches of Orlando Pirates are South African. So again, two African coaches in the final again, which is great for African football. So both finals have African coaches across the board. So no Europeans in these finals, which is great to see. Just Claudio, on your side as an Orlando Pirates supporter, I see you wearing it loud and proud there, the cap. What do you think in terms of their achievement to make the final, especially after not having a great league season?
Well, I think that there's no secret there in terms of going. They didn't have a good league season. This is all their eggs in one basket, so to speak. So, they've got to do the thing now. They've gone the distance. I mean, they need to now see it across the line. There's no point doing all of this, getting all of us hyped up, and then we go to the final, and then goodbye. There's none of that. They need to go there. They need to show them that what the Bones do, the Pirates strike fear in the hearts of the opponent, and when they're there and they hoist the mask, they need to show them. That's it. And like the keeper said, the goalkeeper, Pirates keeper, is like, hey, no one remembers second place. So we won't remember. And you know what? You might think it might have been an achievement, but it isn't an achievement. Go there and win it, and then we can talk about it.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's 100%. Wonga, your thoughts as a Sundowns fan? What are you thinking? Are you going to be rooting for Orlando Pirates on Friday, or are you just going to be like boo hoo? Mike,
look. I just think Pirates fans are gonna. I think with them they're gonna have to, and I think even the coach is gonna stress it to the players, because if they lose, their fans are gonna be on top of them. That's for sure. I don't think they're gonna be, we got to the final or what. They're gonna just be pissed off because now they've got nothing to show for this. You could say, it was. I mean, they had a poor league, and they've been frustrated in that. When I say they're frustrated, I mean the fans. And
also
now they've got to this final.
Wonga, for them to finish 7th, I know they've still got a game in hand, but for them to finish 7th in the league is a joke. That's a joke.
No,
it's bad. It's bad.
That's
bad
poor. It's absolutely poor for Pirates.
For such a big club.
Yeah,
that's
so I think
that's like, I would say Arsenal, but Arsenal's not a fair comparison. It's like a Liverpool finishing 7th.
No, you're right. You're right. It's definitely like a Liverpool finishing 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. But I mean, it's bad. It's bad either way. And all the coach has been giving them is excuses. But now hopefully he can. I don't think it'll make up for their position. But if they take it, I think it'll give them at least a little bit of something to celebrate. But yeah, they need to fix that. Whatever's happened, they just need to fix that.
What's the prize money for the Confed Cup? Do you know?
So 24 million rand.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so they're gonna win. Pirates are gonna kick everyone.
You think Pirates win that? They can keep their academy going. Keep hopes alive there, man. Come on, what's going on?
They need to go ask Chiefs how to revive an academy, because Chiefs did suspend their academy for a few years, and then obviously they revived it now, where there has been. And actually, if you actually look at it, Chiefs actually produces players to the first team, whereas Pirates has probably produced one like in the last 10 years. But your predictions for the final, Wonga? What's your prediction there?
I mean, everything at stake, especially the money. The Pirates wins it. I'll say 3-1 to Pirates.
3-1 to Pirates. Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, Claudio,
That's
they're
ambitious. That's ambitious for African football in terms of the amount of goals, especially in any final. Any final, generally, it's small amount of goals scored. Now in Africa, it's also something else.
all you have to do is open the bag for them, show them the bag of money, and watch them.
I tell them half. I tell them that the players win half if they win, right? And then they get motivated. They're already planning what they're gonna do with their money.
Gotta secure the future, bro. Gotta secure the bag, man.
So Claudio, what's your prediction for this one?
Say 1-0 Pirates victory. Come on.
1-0 Pirates victory. Okay, nice. I think it's going to be a penalty shootout victory, and Pirates will prevail in this one. Even though it hurts me to see another South African team, especially the Soweto Giant, to win, but I think Pirates will prevail in this one. And wow, guys, it's been an hour. I can't believe it. It's been an hour of the show. I don't know where the time has gone. It's definitely gone somewhere. I think Wonga took up. I would have said Wonga took up most of it, but Wonga in a happy mood speaks less. So yeah, guys. Final thoughts. What's your final thoughts, gentlemen? Wonga, and then Claudia, and then I'll wrap up.
My final thoughts are, Arsenal are just pain, man, pain. My life has been good up until this weekend. But yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, they've done well in the season. It would have been nice for us to finish in the top 4. Would have been very nice to get back to Champions League. But yeah, obviously too early for that.
Claudia,
not part of the original 3-year plan for Teta Champions League final. But anyway, yeah. What I want to end off with, Wonga, is that if the Arsenal players showed up like you do week in, week out, they wouldn't be in this situation. So I want to say credit to you, sir. Credit to you for showing your face and giving the people what they want. Is win or loss, your face is here week in, week out, and the people enjoy it. So thank you so much to you, Wonga. And then, of course, I got to end up with the quadruple dream still alive, gents. It's still alive.
Wow. Okay. On my side, guys, just thanks to everyone who's tuned in tonight, from Scooby to Pums to Jason to Louis, to Arjun, who briefly was there as well. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. We wouldn't be who you are on this show without you guys, and just continue to show us the love, and obviously just spread the message in terms of Goalloungetv. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, guys, and that is through you guys, and obviously we only do it for you guys. So let's get us to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, guys. And yeah, some great content will be coming through as well sometime this week. Especially tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna have a special guest tomorrow. A guru, a fantasy football guru. So all of you who love fantasy football, who want to get some tips for next season, so definitely tune in tomorrow for that. If you don't know what to be
cool.
Be cool.
Cheers, guys.